Hello, YouTube. We are back for the attack for Night Tiger Comics, thrilling comics. And I am excited because we're going to get rolling because I want to leaf cast this baby. And what we're going to do is we're going to leaf cast it. In addition to leaf casting it, we are going to do tear seals. And we're going to get this cover rocking and rolling, okay? One thing I want to say before I get going, I dedicate this upload to Night Tiger, my really good best friend on YouTube, plus many other people, if I excluded you from that. But I'm working on Mike's book right now, so I have to give him kudos. He is really an awesome friend, and I appreciate having developed a relationship with him. Also, I am dedicating this upload to the Comic Conservation Facebook page. Now, that was started by Dr. Paul, Flying High Comics. Larry is involved in that. And it's a great Facebook page. It's a great place to go and to find knowledge and to explore about comic conservation. But I want to dedicate this upload in relation to leaf casting because I do peruse the page on Facebook quite often. I don't comment often. And the reason why is because my main wheelhouse is YouTube and Instagram. I can't be adding on different platforms and dedicate the time that I would like to all the platforms because I don't have enough time in the day. I'm a very busy person in my real life other than my comic world, my secret identity of Jerry the Jitterbug. So I see that leaf casting is becoming very popular on this Facebook page. And there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of pictures and posts of people doing leaf casting. And I love it. It's great. Kudos to all of you who are doing leaf casting. But there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions about how to leaf cast. And a lot of those questions deal with, in my opinion, scientific equations, formulas, percentages, how much water, how much pulp, how much methylcellulose. My advice to anyone who is on that page and anyone who wants to do leaf casting is not a science. It is an art. It is an art to do it correctly. It is an art to lay the pulp and to feather it in and to blend everything together. It's not percentages. It's not formulas. It's not science. It is art. And when you can accept that it is art, the better you will be at leaf casting. Don't be concerned about percentages. How much water, how much paper pulp, what paper pulp. All these things I see that people are asking and typing into their computers is not an issue. It is art. That is leaf casting. And one of my mentors, the one that I study, Kenny Sanderson, I can speak for him. I hope he doesn't disagree with what I'm saying, but I think he would also say that it is an art form. It's not a mathematical, scientific equation. You have to be artistic, or you can let your artistic juices flow in order to do proper leaf casting. Another tip that I would give is that any and all repairs, regardless if you're using Tengojo, and I hope a few people have private jokes, and I hope they laugh when I say that, because my channel is also entertainment. So the Tengojo repairs that you use when you do comic conservation should always be on the interior of the book. If you're going to do repairs on the exterior, the cover, you're wasting your time. It's like doing body work on, say, for instance, a Corvette, and you're going to do repairs from the outside. No, you do repairs from the inside. So that's some words of advice that I can give. You do your 10 Gojo repairs, which we're going to do in this upload, because right here we have a rip. Here we have a rip. We have rips all over. Rips, rips, rips. Okay? You do it from the interior. You don't do it from the exterior. Another tip that I can give for those who are interested in leaf casting, if you are going to do a repair, okay, and you think, look, ooh, this matches up. I can put the spine together, bum, 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 and I'm going to use 10 Gojo paper to seal these covers together, then I'm going to leaf cast. No, 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 that's wrong. It's not the right way to do it. What you need to do, look at this. You have all this space here you can work with. When you're doing conservation, you can make this as wide as possible as you want, okay? And what you need to do is you need to measure the interior. You need to measure the interior, you need to fold it, and you need to measure it. Because if you're going to be measuring the book when you lay it flat, for example, like this, right? You're not going to get a true measurement, because when you fold the book or the interior of the book, you get a different measurement. And I like to use a Taylor tape. And I like to use centimeters because Gray Man said use centimeters, not inches, because centimeters are a lot easier to measure. You know, you're not dealing with all those complicated American measurements. I'm not a scientist. I'm sorry. I'm only a lawyer and I'm an artist. That's what I consider myself with when I do conservation. I'm an artist. So right here, the interior of this book folded was 38.5 centimeters. So when I leaf cast this, what we want to do is we want to set the pages to 38.5 centimeters plus a little bit more. And I'm not liking this piece of Hollytex because we're using Hollytex. Maybe we'll use that for the top. So let's put this one. This one's better. So what we got here is the cover. We're going to place it on just like this. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to measure the width of the cover to 38.5 centimeters. So what we're going to do is we'll take our trusty measurement device and I'm going to put it here, metrics, and we want to do 38.5. So right there. And when I do it, I do 38.5 and I add about 1/8 of an inch on to, see, we just messed it up. So let's do it again. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it very simple. Another tip is, let's wet this piece of Hollytex right here. A little water right here, just like that, done. A little water, because now the cover will stick on to the piece of Hollytex, just like this. And we can get the measurements right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cover, the front cover, just like this, okay? And then I'm going to get some of this pulp off. And then what I want to do is let's put the ruler down the straight edge, and we're going to try to get the right dimension, which is 38 and a half. So let's see. Matter of fact, I want to pull this over a little bit, just a tiny bit, because I want more room to do the leaf casting. So let's get our 38 and a half centimeters, just like this. And I'll put it here, and we're going to do measurements. 38 and a half, we need to move it over a tiny bit more. Tiny bit, just like this. And let's see if we got it right here. 38 and a half plus an eighth. I'm liking this, right? Just like this. Let's check the top. 38 and a half. See, we have to go in a little bit on the top because the measurement is not lying. We want to tilt it in a tiny bit, just like this. And let's see what we got. We got now 38. We need to go a little bit more. And it's a lot about measurements right here. So 38, we still have to go a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it a little bit in, just like that. And let's see how we go here. So what do we got? 38 and a half and an eighth there. 38 and a half and an eighth there. So I'm happy with that. I want to give it a little bit more water to flatten it out. Just like this. Okay? Very nice. Now what I want to do is I want to check and I want to see how the bottom is doing. So the bottom is a little bit off. I need to pull this top cover or the back cover a little bit up more because the measurements are very important. So we're going to scoot it up just like that a little bit more. And we're going to take our time doing it because the measurements are very important. Let's see how we're lined up on the bottom. That looks pretty good. Let's see if we have still our 38 and a half plus an eighth. That's fine right there. Let's lift it up and let's do the top. 38 and a half. And we're a little bit, again, we have to move it over a tiny bit. That was a little too much. Let's see what we got there. That should be enough right there. And a lot of this, now this is where the science comes in, guys. This is science of measurements, okay? So there we go. We got our cover set up nicely. It's nice and wet on the Hollytex. I think I'm going to do a little bit more water, right? And then what I want to do is I want to take the water and I want to gently massage it into the cover, making it nice and wet. Now, you can see that I'm using my fingers right here, okay? And I'm taking my fingers and I'm wiping them on the cover. I'll tell you right now, and I'm going to be very clear, you cannot do what I just did with Silver Age books. Because if you do that with Silver Age books, if you have any type of interaction with rubbing things on the cover of a Silver Age book when it is wet, you know what's going to happen? You have a high probability that you may destroy graphics. Because as everyone knows who watches my channel, the Silver Age books are not durable. you can wipe off. You can wipe off the graphics. You can wipe off the ink. And then where you're going to be after doing that? You're not going to have fun. You're going to be upset with yourself. You're going to say, what the heck did I do? Okay, so what do we want to do now? What we want to do now is I want to do tear seals. I don't want to do tear seals like this one by an example, because I'm going to cover this with leaf casting. I want to do a tear seal right here, okay? And the reason why I want to do a tear seal right there is because it is going in to the graphics, and I'm not going to leaf cast that. So I have a piece of Tengojo. I hope people laugh when I say it that way, but you know what? I am an entertainer. I am not a scientist. I am just an entertainer working on comics. I'm a lawyer by profession. And a lot of what I do as a lawyer is theatrics. When I'm talking to a jury or I'm doing a bench trial, I use theatrics. So what we're going to do right here is a piece of Tengojo. I ripped it. We're going to lay it right on the rip, just like this, okay? And I see in the, and here we go, we got methyl cellulose. And I see in the Comic Conservation Facebook page that people are like, okay, what do you do? What do you do when you are going to use Tengojo and then leaf casting? You just do this, just what I did. You put it on, and then when you wet it and you do the leaf casting, the methyl cellulose will still be sticky, and it will adhere the actual repair that you did. It's not going to come up. It will stay there, and that's all you have to do. Then we're going to repair this. We'll put a little methyl cellulose. We don't have to be too scientific or too crazy with the methyl cellulose, because we're going to cover a lot of this with pulp. Now, I don't put any methyl cellulose in my paper pulp. I don't do that. I just use, what I use is the regular paper pulp, water, and that's it. I don't add any special things to increase the strength. The paper pulp alone is enough. So right here, again, we have our repairs that we did. This may be a little long, guys, so I may break it up into 2 uploads. So right here, we have our book ready for the leaf casting, or our cover. So what I want to do is I'll move this to the side. Actually, we'll do it this way. And I'll slide it down just like this. And there we go. It's on my homemade leaf casting table for under $100. If you haven't watched how I made it, go check it out. I know Larry, Captain Larry, he made one for a little bit more money than me. I made one, then he made one for more money. He must make more money than me as a pilot. I like to do things under $100 or as cheap as possible. So here we go. We're ready, and we're going to do the leaf casting. So let's get with the pulp. Let's get the pulp ready. Right here I have the pulp. It's in my blender. Let's take a look at it. Look at that. I'm going to tell you right now that I really fine-tuned the color of this pulp for my friend Night Tiger, because he's my good friend and I wanted to match up nice and close. So the pulp is it's an awesome match. We're going to mix it up now. If you have sensory issues, cover your ears, because I'm going to blend it up now. Okay, we are ready. We're gonna get going. I'm gonna put a little bit more water on the cover. And we are going to leaf cast right now.